Hey Dragonauts, what's Dragon on? Astralsflame back here with another deck tech. Today we're going to take a look at Greased Lightning Jund, the slickest, fastest, oiliest way to rank up on the MTGA ladder and standard. Before I get into the deck tech, please remember to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all the newest stuff MTGA related for decks. And with that, let's slide right on into how this deck is going to work. It cares about Modify. And Modify only cares about either stuff being equipped, enchanted, or have different kind of counters. And thankfully, in Phyrexia All Will Be One, we receive the oil counters, which makes Modify that much easier to achieve. So you can already kind of see the basis here. We want Modify creatures to synergize with Thundering Raiju. Raiju likes to put a +1/+1 counter on a creature when this attacks, and then it's going to deal X damage to each opponent equal to the number of modified creatures other than Thundering Raiju that we have. So the more creatures we have that are modified, the more damage Raiju is going to do on that sweet attack. And Raiju fits into what we call the sort of modifying pile. These are creatures that are going to modify other stuff in our deck. So Raiju on its own attacks, modifies another creature. Kumado faces Kakazan, same kind of thing. Chapter 2 modifies another creature. Also flips around and pushes in damage, which is great. We have two other approaches we use in this list. We have our utility modified creatures and our self-modified creatures. So in the utility modified creatures package, this is Migla's the Maze Crusher and Archfiend of the Dross. Archfiend of the Dross is really nice in just being a 4-mana 6/6 flyer, with that upside that if an opponent's creature dies, they're going to lose 2 life. And you do have to bear in mind the oil counters are removed once a turn at your upkeep, so after no more oil counters, Archfiend is gone and dead, and you lose the game. But thankfully, we're going to have ways to assist with that, and ideally, our opponent will be, out of the way before that's even a problem. Our secondary one here is Migla's the Maze Crusher in utility here. Migla's is great coming in with 5 oil counters, and you can use them for utility different reasons here. First off, you can remove an oil counter, and Migla's is going to gain Menace and Vigilance until end of turn, and it's already a 4/4 body. You can tap 2 mana, remove 2 oil counters, and Migla's gets +2/+2 until end of turn. And one of my favorite modes actually with Migla's here is spending 3 mana and removing 3 oil counters. You can actually destroy target artifact or enchantment with Migla's. So Migla's comes in a way of keeping itself to push in damage or holding back oil counters to remove something that your opponent has. And in the case of the meta right now, Mind Splice Apparatus decks have been popping up and around. We still know Reckoner Bankbuster is a thing, and Fable of the Mirror Breaker, Wedding Announcement, all of those kind of lines, Migla's can just easily say, I don't think so. So we love Migla's for that. Let's touch on our self-modifying pile here. So these are creatures that are going to self-modify by doing a specific action. Evolving Adaptive. When a creature that comes into play with more power or toughness than Oil Adaptive, or Evolving Adaptive, I called it oily. It is oily though, but Evolving Adaptive actually gets another oil counter, and its power and toughness it goes up, it gets +1/+1 for each oil counter on it. So the more creatures you play that are bigger than Evolving Adaptive, Adaptive is going to go up as well. So in a turn 1 play, we could go Evolving Adaptive into like a turn 2 Beast Caller or Scrap Gorger. And because both of these cards have a higher power or toughness than Evolving Adaptive, Adaptive is going to take up to be a 2/2 right away on turn 2. Turn 3 it can scale, turn 4 it can scale. So it just fits nicely, modifies itself, pushes in damage. You saw the Beast Caller there. Well, same kind of idea. We only need to cast a card for Beast Caller though, and it gets +1/+1. Also, if it's got those +1/+1 counters and Beast Caller dies, we can redistribute them amongst our creatures as we want. So further modifying other creatures we make. In the last kind of area here, we're playing Scrap Gorger, the Armored Scrap Gorger. This is great as a sort of ramp piece to play out an early Raiju or Archfiend of the Dross for extra power. The addition here, when it becomes tapped, you can exile a card from a graveyard. When you do exile a card this way, that's when it gets its oil counters. That modifies itself. If it's got 3 or more, it is going to get +3/+0, which is awesome. So it becomes a 3/3, which is great. So we can have an effective body and graveyard hate with mana ramp all on one card that modifies itself. Fits in super nicely with this deck. And we'll touch on the Proliferate card next, the Bloated Contaminator. Now, Contaminator doesn't modify itself, but it is an enabler for modifying everything else as long as it already has a counter. So we talked about Archfiend of the Dross, right? Archfiend of the Dross is going to lose those counters at your upkeep. Well, Bloated Contaminator swings in. When it deals combat damage, you can choose to proliferate. So what you do, proliferate your +1/+1 counters, proliferate your oil counters. Suddenly now, Archfiend is going to be able to stick around for more turns. Miglas is going to be able to remove more enchantments. Raiju's +1 that it threw out earlier is going to spread out and do awesome things. Beast Collar is getting more adaptive, gets an oil counter. Scrap Gorger gets closer to where it's got to go. So it fits in nice. It just pushes the whole Grease Lightning concept of damage we want to do. Not to mention a 3-mana 4/4. Also gives your opponent Toxic. So, if the damage of all your creatures and Raiju isn't going to get them, well, Toxic just might. Yeah. We've got some utility cards still in the list too, though, because what is an aggro deck without any other way to generate threats or value? It runs out of steam, and we are not going to lose steam. We are all about being Grease Lightning and value. So in our card advantage package here, as I'll say, Feldon, the Ronom Excavator, and Glissa Sunslayer. Rotom being nice, a 2-mana 2/2 with haste. When it is dealt damage, you exile that many cards from the top of your library. Choose a card to cast off that. Super awesome. So you can set up a card draw or a card you want to play from amongst those that are exiled. And that's very beneficial in wanting to guarantee a hit on playing on a Raiju, maybe getting Miglas down, even getting Glissa going, depending on what you need. Also, just playing in a Feldon off of, turn 1 Kumano Faces Gakuen gives you a 3/3 Feldon. More damage, more pressure. So Feldon fits very nice in there. The other card here is Glissa Sunslayer, and Glissa is like keyword soup. Glissa does so much here. Glissa can draw us a card losing a life. Glissa can blow up an enchantment. Glissa can also remove counters from other permanents upon connecting a combat damage. In addition, it has First Strike and Death Touch for whatever reason. And that just makes Glissa great. Most of the time we are using Glissa to draw here when it connects. However, having a removal on a body is never a bad thing, nor being able to take away counters off a Planeswalker, or if your opponent happens to have an Archfiend of the Dross and you just remove all the counters from in, I mean, what's wrong with that, right? Nothing, I say. Finally, the removal package of this list. Removal here in Greased Jun is a little different than what you would typically expect. In a lot of aggro decks, we often see play with Fire and Lightning Strikes. We're actually going for a different approach with this list, because we work to sort of mitigate opponents' resources in a way. If an opponent goes wider than us, we can lose, but we can go taller and deal more damage very effectively. So what we work here is to play around our opponent's hand strategy and take away early threats so that we can hold the board state and push in that lethal damage. So we're actually main decking Dreams of Steel and Oil in this list. Being able to exile an artifact or creature card from your opponent's hand with the addition of being able to exile another one from their graveyard. So Dreams of Steel and Oil is like a 3-for-1 in a lot of circumstances. I say 3-for-1 because A, you know what your opponent's got in hand. B, you have exiled something from their hand. And C, you're probably hitting something from their graveyard. That is a ton of hits. You know what their game plan is. You've taken away a threat and you've taken away something from the graveyard. Dreams of Steel and Oil, just fantastic 1-mana card to be playing in the meta, especially right now in a creature-focused meta. Secondly here, Sheoldred's Edict, because we do need ways to deal with a multitude of different types of cards, whether it's annoying tokens from our opponent, a single target creature that they've got, or a Planeswalker we don't want to deal with. Edict is just a great, fantastic choice to hit in that pulls off all those areas, and we choose which mode we need based on the situation. Mana base wise, pretty standard in here. Bunch of pain lands, a few of our new fast lands, Copperline Gorge here. Also playing in Boseiju, Sokenzan, and Takenuma. So Takenuma is going to let you bring back like an Archfiend or a Raiju, pushing that damage. Sokenzan is going to make us some 1/1 spirits that can attack in and we can modify for further power. And Boseiju is again just kind of there, is a nice removal piece on, well, anything that is an artifact, enchantment, or non-basic land an opponent controls. Most of the time, enchantment removal. Now, sideboard. What are we going to do against those nasty decks that might just try to disrupt our plans? Well, if we're up against control, we are going to go ahead and play in Duresses as well as Urabrask Forge and bring in Luca, Bound to Ruin. All of these cards are impactful against the control matchup. Duress is going to be your key to taking away removals or counter spells from their hand. Urabrask Forge is going to be great because it's just going to continually pump out a larger and larger creature every turn, and that can synergize with Bloated Contaminator to proliferate it even more, so that damage just upscales every time. In addition to that, Planeswalkers can be very tricky for a control deck to answer if they're on board, since board clears don't remove them, and they'll usually have to spend some kind of different single target removal. So Luka Bound to Ruin is going to be able to just stick on board, and you'll be able to either plus it up to play out your creatures and use your mana a little more effectively, maybe some Migloz effects, sorry, or you can continually just -1 it, proliferate with Bloated Contaminator, and just keep making 3/3 beasts, again, on that toxic strategy. Mid-range decks, similar kind of idea with what we want to bring in. Luka is often good to bring in against mid-range decks. It gives us blockers and further threats to do, but we will often also bring in Rebel Salvo and Infernal Grasp because you want to deal with high priority threats, something like a She-Halted, right? Kangerbloom, also a viable option, blows up an artifact, blows up an enchantment, or proliferates, which further helps you in your board state. When we come against other aggro decks, honestly, it really depends on the aggro list. There's not much we usually have to change up against them, except maybe bringing in a Kangerbloom, and the odd time when the aggro game is going to divulge into a longer motion, Erebras Forge is fantastic to bring in there. But Dragonauts, that is Greased Lightning, Greasy Jund. I hope you enjoy the games coming up. I'm good with this hand. We're going to keep. We can go Kumano into our little evolving adaptive. Alright, against mono red aggro. We'll just play in our adaptive now, a 2/2, because of +1/+1 in oil. And then next turn we've got Contaminator coming in. Elden's fine, we'll go ahead and take 3 damage here. Play in our Bloated Contaminator, and we're going to chuck in for 5 damage against the opponent. If we hit another black spell off the top, we've got Archfiend and the Dross ready to come in. Just going to take the damage. Striking Face is totally fine. I am fine seeing Glissa there. Tuck the opponent down to 5. Go ahead and proliferate. Evolving Adaptive with that artifact that lets you drop. Oh, not. There's an artifact, but there's a land that does it too. And there's game 1. Go ahead and try that. So we're going to bring in Luka. We're going to bring in 2 Infernal Grasp. We're going to cut one Dreams, 1 Edict, and go down 1 Archfiend and 1 Raiju. We'll see how game 2 goes. Grixis command could be looked at, but I'm gonna keep. Mono's fine. Play an Archimano, and then we can go double Evolving Adaptive. And such. Yeah, that's fair, that's fair. No, it's not a bad idea. It's an idea for sure. Archfiend's alright. I'm gonna hurt myself with these pain lands, but double adaptive is not the worst to start putting on pressure. So I can block etchings with my 1 adaptive here. Swiss Spear is annoying. Into a Strangle. Alright. Yep, we're just gonna go right to game 3. Missed land drop. It's like magic. Luka's gonna come out. We're gonna bring Raiju and Dross back in. Yeah, we're gonna bring Thundering Raiju and Archfiend and the Dross back in. Bring to my pain lands. I'm sorry, Trex. I don't think I got the joke then. Beast Collar, Migloz, Raiju. Okay. Verve is nice here, like Beast Collar, Migloz, Raiju is very good. If this had an Evolving Adaptive, it'd be even better. Spear, Swift Spear, take one. Beast Caller. What? I never heard that word before. Which one? Which word, Aaron? The Pain Lantern? Sure, Lightning Strike on curve. Oh, land. Yes, the mystical thing that doesn't exist. Alright, we actually hit a land. Let's go. Let's play Miglaws here. Oh, it's fine. They want to attack in. I'll just do that. I wanted it to have Vigilance so I can hold it up as a blocker. We take out the Feldon, right? Sweet. Sure, I'm gonna block. Give me land works. Alright, Archfiend of the Dross is gonna come in here. That is a 6/6 in the air, that when it blocks, they're gonna take 2, and we have a Raiju follow-up next turn to end the game. Probably hit my face. Sure. Yeah, I'll take the trade, that's fine. One Thundering Raiju. Put you down to 9. Force your blocks. Down to 5. Inextricting gonna do it. I will play on my own Feldon. Alright, there we go, game 3. Like, I don't want to, like, dedicate every day to streaming, but I want to make myself available on more days so we can grow our community for the next while to get the push done. But I don't know, I'm just kind of tired tonight. And I think the tiredness is maybe what's playing.
What is Jund? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more.
Hamox, thank you so much, my bud. Hammy, how you doing tonight, man? Thank you so much for that subscription. You're our 4th sub of the week. I kind of needed that pick me up. What's up, dude? Oh, Ham, you missed some weird stuff tonight, my dude. If there was a way that I could talk about how awkward the lands have been to me today. Oh, have I got words, my friend. Oh my goodness. I have just, like, we've had the ups and the downs of, like, so many. I think I'm just thinking. I do as well, and it's just, like, the day it is, you know? Talking Numa can go down. I am honestly just gonna get rid of Kaya now. I kid you not, we had 4 matches in a row where every, like, of the matches, there was one game we were land screwed, one game we mulled the 5, and one game we missed at least 2 to 3 land drops a game. It was just that kind of night. I'm playing the Archfiend here. Like, Archfiend plus double Raiju is big damage, right? We end the game in 3 turns. So let's do it. Ouch. Yeah, it was just rough, man. All right. Let's get it. Go to 11. And a 9. Fun fact, when those die, they're going to make them lose 2 life too. So I switched from Jund Stompy that we were playing to Jund Oil. It's a thing. And it's kind of sweet. Alright, down to 2. Played another Raiju. Okay, game 1, okay. So Orzhov tokens. What are we concerned with the Orzhov tokens? Realistically, I think we're already fine with how we want to bring in stuff with like Dreams of Steel and Oil. There could be rationale to bring in Duress to handle Kaya, but we are already playing She Holds with Heat. If this is going to turn into a grindy game, there could be reason to bring in Urbra's Forge, considering we're going to be on the draw now. And we could consider dropping Raiju and Archfiend down to be 2 and 2. Maybe make Archfiend a 1-of and bring in 3 Forge. The other option, what I could do is entirely cut all 4 of them to bring in Lucas on the top end. And I don't actually hate doing this, because then we just get a spurt of tokens continually going out. Luca's going to make a board state. We can contend token to token and match their grind. And then I might bring in just like a single Canker Bloom. Just so we kind of have it. And I think I'll roll with that. So sideboarding for game 2. We're going to bring in Urbra's Forge. We're going to bring in Luca. We're going to bring in a Canker Bloom. We've cut out Raiju's and Dross since we're not on the play. And we're going to see how game 2 goes. I'm going to keep. It's a little slow. But I think that's fine. Okay, Jadar is fine. Bring in Scrap Forger. We have Edict to deal with it. So I can like Dreams and Edict next turn if I need to. Especially if this is playing Kaya, right? Oh, they're gonna cut down. Alright, sure. So we'll take 3. Go to 17. Citizen's Crowbar. Sure. Alright, really? Okay, let's just get rid of the Jadar now then. Miss land drop once again. If this is just Mondrak, we're in some danger zone here. Yep, danger zone. Danger zone. Going to game 3 because danger zone. Yeah, so game 3 here, since we got Mana Screw game 2, we're just back on the play. We're gonna go with the aggressive plan and bring in Archfiends and Raijus again. And go to town. Taking the play. Alright. Land drops. I can do things I like. I like going Scrap Forger into Raiju. I very much like that a lot. Forger's not going to be able to modify itself right away, but fine. Oh, they're going to cut down. Alright, sure. You know what? Fine. Have a Mig Laws. Put in a 4/4. Yeah, can't cut down a 4/4. Veteran, sure. Skrell's Hive's fine. I would like to poke your hand. Okay, you don't have anything there. Good to know. Let's play in Scrap Gorger. And let's poke in for 4. I don't care too much about this. They can enter the trenches if they want. We're just going to drop down Raiju next turn. Yep, trenches is fine. just get going. Now, Trenches needs to get 6. They don't have 6. We've got them at 6. They go down to 5. We're not corrupted. I have double Edict I can do next turn. Well, nothing, and there's game 3. There we go. And well, we're going to take the play here. I don't have red for Feldon, but I do like going adaptive into Beast Caller, or even just adaptive into... Yeah. I like adaptive on 1. This hand has a lot of potential. We're gonna play Scrap Forger in. Reason being, if I do hit a red mana next turn, I can go Beast Caller into Feldon. I think I kind of still want to go into Feldon. Yeah, I'm gonna just play into Feldon here. We'll get them going to... We'll just chuck in damage, right? Because if they Brotherhood's End, Feldon will let us see 3 cards. If we hit a red mana, we can Raiju. Harvester's fine. Did not hit the red mana. That's still fine though, because I can still go Kumano into a Beast Caller. Push in 4. And yes, I probably could have waited so I could have ate something with the Scrap Forger. But this is still 4 damage, getting them down to 9 and forcing in. So I should probably slow down the plays a little bit, because we could have gotten something on Scrap Forger there. I'll take the draw here. I kind of need that land, though. Not thrilled about missing the land. Let's go ahead and do this. Book them down, ship in for 4 to push them to 6. We should just block the... Okay. I would have thought they blocked the Beast Caller, but... Invoke Despair. I'm gonna say Feldon. Say Kumano. Hey, what's going on, Caleb? How you doing tonight, bud? Welcome in. Okay, I got them at 7. They'll be close. They're gonna be at 1. They're gonna heal to 5 at least. Right, because it's a 3 and then Blood Token up to 5. Okay, Blood Token to 5. Still close, still really close. How's your evening going, Caleb? Hey, Sam, what's going on, bud? Well, happy Wednesday. How you doing, buddy? I need to get beat up? Wait, why? You're doing good? Good, good. Alright, table's fine. So they didn't go for the draw. That's curious. Hey, thank you for giving me a shout out to Sam Sony there. I mean, I think we just have to try, right? Make that a 4/4. Yeah, we just have lethal. This is just lethal. Easy. There we go. I need to not submit an Onicall Anvil for the RC. Yeah, but Onicall's good. Although, what if you played Jund? And he did it with Hive. What if he did that? Alright, so for game 2, we're going to bring in Duresses, bring in Rebel Salvos. I cut the Archfiend into the Drosses. We keep in the Raijus. Keep in some of our big 3 beaters. We're going to see how that goes game 2. for the life of me. Every game too is a one-lander. Oh, I can't keep it. Yeah, I'm not keeping this. This is just too risky. Alright, we'll keep 3 lands. I'm gonna put the Contaminator back. I'm gonna keep Scrap and Glissa plus Salvo. I mean, you can keep it. I mean, yeah, I can. And then I'll lose. It's just... Yes, that's exactly it. Opponent would probably just have Blood Type Harvester here, right? Yep. I'll just play in Scrap Forger. Should have played in the Forest. I don't know why I played in Land War Waste there. But... And they're gonna, what, cut down my Scrap Forger? Yeah. Okay. Bought me to 16. Missed a land drop. Alright. Oh, I played in the wrong land. Right. Alright. I'm gonna hold back on Dreams. We're gonna play in Glissa here. You sometimes play in tournaments, right? Yeah, I do, Sam. I've been a little bit out of them the last couple months from work, but I will be getting back in them. I'm debating to sign up for the qualifier this weekend on Friday night, because apparently it's standard. So I'm debating signing up for it. Sure, rate's fine. We'll go down to 12. Alright, Raiju's good. I don't want to just play it. I don't have the extra red for it, so... You have Corpse Praise with Gone. I'll go down to 11. We just get rid of the Harvester. Lean in with the Hydrate. You got it. Other Dreams. Alright. One of you plays with me? Yeah, absolutely, Sam, always. Tons of cutdowns and Grixis commands. Alright. Okay. And they didn't use the blood token to cycle a card away? If I just play in Felden just dies to a cut down. I don't even think that's worth it. I'm just gonna hold up the Rebel Salvo. I imagine they discard okay, hit the land. Nothing else to play. There's my tap land. Right, what you got? Go open the throat, cut downs. Yeah, get going. Alright, we're gonna go in with Raiju. If they hit the land for the command, they hit it, but there's no creature that they can bring back. Play an Evolving Adaptive, because this modifies itself. And then Felden as well. They have 2 cut downs, so they're probably gonna use it. I can put that. Push them to 10. Pop the Croak to the throat. Alright, sure. Up like Cliffs, past the turn. When deck building, do you build with the first 1-4 rounds or chance for tier decks? Or do you build? Ooh. Usually I build with what I'm going to expect in the top 8. Holy lands. No, yeah, Sam, so honestly, I usually build to what I expect to get in the top 8. Okay, no critters. I'm happy to see that at least. Make disappear, I don't really care about that. I think I care more about Grixis command at this point. This is certainly a Gix off. Whoever, another, what is? So for all the missed land I've had tonight, I'm finally flooding out. Is there any creatures in graveyards? There is. Alright. Frankly, you can sack that. Makes sense. Yeah, like, I go with the assumption that I am gonna make a day 2. I may not make the day 2, obviously, but I go with the assumption that I will, because then those are the decks that I have to turn. What is going on? Day 1, there is no guarantee what you're gonna run into. You can guarantee that there is a percent of like the most played in decks, but aside from that, there's no guarantee as to what is gonna come in. So yeah, I usually tech in for I just lose. Massive flood out. It's absolutely massive flood out. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Still in this. I don't need another land. Oh, no. No. Not like this. If I get another land, we're going right to game. Okay, Raiju, fine. I can pay for it ×2. Doesn't matter if you make disappear. Oh my goodness. Okay. I still have 4 mana. You may go to 2. You will block. Okay. Here. Oh, Shamrock Shake. Yo, Cosmic. That is actually delish. Okay. So I need them basically not to draw any. That is a tall order if I ever had one. Oh, I just lose. Yeah, we're just going to the next game. Damn. Appraiser just makes Bankbuster Recruit and attacks me for 4. Alright, game 3. No more duresses. Not gonna worry about Salvo. We are just going hard back in on damage here. Let's go ahead and bring back in our Collar and our Contaminator. And I'm gonna grab in the Lucas over the Archfiend still. Bring in Cankerbloom. Actually, I'll cut the Beast Collars for 2 Cankerblooms, because I can deal with Fable with Canker and Meglaws. We'll do that. Am I missing 1 card? Oh. 1 Archfiend. Okay. We'll do that. Are we taking the play? Lander, no, don't do this to me. Okay. I'm gonna put back the Contaminator. And hand again. Roll the 6 on the play. What you got? Bankbuster gone. It's just a bunch of Fables and a Brotherhood's End. Okay, so as long as this is not a make disappear. Okay. There's Fable. Let's just get rid of that Fable, push in for 4. I don't think I win this. I'd love to say that we can, but... 2 mana open. I think it's gonna get off. Maybe the land helps here. I'm gonna go adaptive into Glissa. Make disappear or cut down. Cut down, sure. Pushing 4 damage. Back to back Lucas. Hey, let's go, Aaron. That's awesome. Dude, like that. Double Lucas are always good. I quite like Luca as a Planeswalker. I think it's pretty legit. Brotherhood's End gone, so that means Corpse Print. There. Edict is nice. Get rid of the Appraiser. Low tier Luca incoming. I mean, hey, do it up. Speaking of Luca, force them to sacrifice the Corpse Appraiser. Is it worth keeping up the mana? Let's just go and punch. I might have paid in 1 to give it vigilance, but it's fine. I'll save the oil counters for now. For the throat. That's gonna flip. Takenuma. Hitting Corpse Appraiser, but they can't play it out yet. If I hit an untapped land, I can play Luca into Miglaws. Alright, sometimes lucky. Chin 3, they're gonna block with the 2/2. So they're gonna Corpse Appraiser, copy Corpse Appraiser with Reflection. I'm off, have a good night. Goblin mode, take it easy, friend. Thank you so much for stopping in. I hope you have a great night. Bud, what's going on, bud? Happy Wednesday. How you doing today? Welcome in. Okay, there's Corpse Appraiser. They still have 2 creature targets in their graveyard. I'm doing good. And yourself? I'm doing alright, Vlad. I'm doing alright. Night could be a little bit better. But, it's going. It's going. Appraiser copy. Blood Tithe. I wonder why they didn't grab the other Corpse Appraiser. The other... If they didn't take a Corpse Appraiser, the other card in hand must be insane. I think I'm just blocking either way. Let's go to... Yeah, Smart Me is just blowing up the Fable here. And we just send in 7 damage. Draw a card, lose a life. Okay, another Miglaws. Did I miss lethal? Oh frick, I might have missed lethal. Alright, well. I should have -4'd on Luca. I think I missed lethal. -4 on Luca. Brotherhood's End, yeah. I think I did miss lethal. Harvester, you go to 8. Archfiend. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just missed lethal by not picking that. Push in 4. If they block, they're gonna take 2. Otherwise, they go to 4. I could have set them to 2 if I had a... No. No, I could have done Vigilance and Menace. But I think it was just worth attacking and holding back the 1. Or... Brotherhood's End, sure. You go to 2. I take the game. Hey Dragonauts, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. It is always appreciated. Please remember to hit that subscribe button down below to stay up to date on everything coming out for MTG related with the standard meta in OLB1. And with that, Dragonauts, keep believing. I'll see you next time.